I want to thank Mr. Vincent for giving us his time today to teach us on an awesome topic, referrals.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Joseph. I appreciate you. And I want to welcome everybody. A lot of you guys, I probably don't know, but I'm super excited to have the opportunity to get to meet you, to share what I do to grow referrals and referral networks. I saw my staff jump on. I wanted to give a shout out to the Vincent Family Insurance Agency. What's up, guys? Super excited to share with you guys today. So let's get into this, right? So just like Joseph said, I'm going to spend, 20, 30 minutes. We'll see how long it takes. And then afterwards, we'll open it up for Q&A. But just to introduce myself, I am Beau Vincent, and this is my beautiful wife over on this side. And then this is my wife and my 3 awesome sons. I saw a couple posts today, or was it yesterday, that it was National Sons Day. So happy National Sons Day to my 3 awesome boys, Jackson, Connor, and Bennett. And let's go to the next page. So I run Vincent Family Insurance Agency, and this is my awesome staff right here. And we were in Vegas just, last month? It seems like forever ago, but just last month or the beginning of September. So I opened our agency in October of 2019. We have grown over 5 times since then, which is super exciting. And we made Honor Ring and National Conference both years. Our sales team is completely remote. And I trademarked the office mantra or principle, also used for marketing. We love insurance, but we love people more. All right. I also will share with you before I jump into this that I love to spend on my spare time podcasting and obviously coaching through the CWC network. So super excited to share my podcast and free leadership advice. We have some big heavy hitters on there like Joseph and Slocum and Wyatt Mace and Tommy Porup. So some great agents have joined, and we have way more that are unreleased still coming. So we love insurance. We love people more. So let's stop, because first and foremost, I want to just encourage everybody to be positive, and that you each have a choice today to be positive, to approach this subject, to approach each day that you work and have an opportunity to work, to be positive, to decide to be a leader. Because guess what? It doesn't matter what your title is, because you could be an agency owner, an office manager, or just a sales professional or customer service. And I don't mean just, because you guys have some of the most important roles on the front line of our agency with our customers and our future clients. So you have a decision today, before we go any farther, to be a leader, right? You don't need the title to be a leader. You can decide to be a leader. And what I love about this next quote that Mark Cuban said is, selling isn't about convincing, it's about helping. When you understand what people need and want, you put yourself in a position to help them. Then you make good things happen. You close deals, and that's how you create companies. Well, because of that statement, our agency has really lived out that, and we've built some great things because we understand what the customer wants, and we're not trying to convince. We just come from the heart of trying to help, because we love insurance. We love people more. My 3 steps to coaching can always help with your structure when giving feedback and when leading others. And even when you're coaching or teaching referral partners, those steps are teach it, lead it, and expect it. I sometimes like to say, if you teach it and you lead it, there's no reason you can't expect success. So next, we're going to start with networking with referral partners. What is a referral partner? Well, someone who could refer potential business or customers to you. I would say mortgage, loan, broker, realtors, title, tradesmen, maybe roofers that have a claim and their client is upset. They could refer to you, family members, friends, networking groups such as BNI, chambers of commerce, just to mention a couple. Obviously, that doesn't encompass them all, right? But where do they come from, right? Where do you find referral partners, professional referral partners specifically? I ask friends, family members, other referral partners. If I'm close with a realtor, I ask a realtor, hey, could you introduce me to some mortgage brokers? If I know mortgage brokers, could you introduce me to some realtors. And you can use this on social media. You see all the time where people say, hey guys, who do I know out there that's a realtor? Who do I know that's a mortgage broker? Who do you know? Tag them below. I don't do those as much because I like to just look through LinkedIn or Facebook and find people and ask, could you introduce me directly? I think direct messaging, it actually gets better, but typically a better response. So yeah, other than just getting them out. But before I go any farther, we just need to think about this, okay? Referrals take more time and more effort than buying leads, right? It may be cheaper in a lot of ways, cheaper. Acquisition costs are cheaper, and we like the close rate, but they definitely take way more time. So if you think that referrals is right for you, just know going into it that it takes time. And I will mention it a couple down. If you look right here, this is a relationship. So I'm skipping a little bit ahead, but remember, it's a relationship. Relationships take time. If you think that dropping off bagels, donuts, or a lunch for the office is all of a sudden going to get you a referral, think again, right? Because how many, let's say like storm restoration companies, right? Stop by, they drop us off donuts and bagels, lunches, and I have never referred them anybody. So lunches and those things don't necessarily earn business, right? Heck, there's companies that offer me free CEs, and I've even maybe taken advantage of some of those, and it still hasn't led me to giving them business. What does give them business, though, is what I talk about on the next slide. But before we even get to there, I want you to understand where I focus on. I used to focus on 20 different realtor offices, 20 different mortgage broker offices, and I'd have one person at each. But I started to think, isn't there a smarter way? I just need to work smarter, not harder, right? So I focused on the partners that I liked in the offices that I believed in, that lined up with my vision, my morals, my ethics. And quite frankly, I wanted to work with people that I liked. And who doesn't want to work with somebody they like? So I stopped working with the people that, be honest with you, either weren't a big fan of me or I wasn't a big fan of them, or they already worked with somebody else that it was going to be a ridiculous uphill battle to earn their trust. But it doesn't mean that I didn't stop in, consistently drop off, my card, say hello. But I really started to focus in on the ones that we maybe had chemistry, or we could tell that we could be friends and build a relationship. Because when you work with somebody to this level, you want to build a relationship with them, right? So in order to get this kind of referrals going, you guys might have heard this before, but you need to be known, you have to be liked, and you have to be trusted. And it has to go in that order, right? Okay, there's nobody that's going to respond because we're on a Zoom. So who should do this in your office? When you think about who should do this in your office, if you're an agency owner or a sales manager, I think that you guys could lead the charge. But if you're an LSP and you know people, or you want to get to build your own referrals to grow your own book and your own sales, I think that this is extremely important for you too, because you could either each person in your office could build their own referrals, or in my office, I decided to take those over about a year and a half ago, instead of delegating that to our staff. It's not that our staff still doesn't use this for themselves. It's just that I thought it would be part of my job as the visionary of our agency and our business to go out and build referral partnerships with people that are like-minded, that I could just picture partnering my business with their business, right? So there's nobody specifically, but anybody can do it. But I do know not everybody should do it, because their personalities may not be a fit to that. So you got to decide, your agency owner, your office manager, you guys have to decide who does that. And they may say everybody should do their own, or they may take this. I hope that somebody in your office takes this and just makes an impact on your referral network. Okay. So known, how do you get known, man? Well, first off, in the last slide, we talked about, you got to know who your audience is. Who are you talking to? Who are you looking for? Right. So you pick those out. I set a day out, right? Almost one day a week, I do networking or referrals. If you ask my staff, it's actually consistent beyond just Tuesdays. I will get a lunch or coffee or breakfast with somebody, right? So like I said, just by going to visit them and dropping off lunch does not mean that they're going to get to know you very well, right? I try to invite one or maybe two people at first to go out to lunch, maybe somebody that gave me a connection, or I have a connection in an office first, right? So I focused on offices with people that I like, and then the opportunity to grow within that office, right? Because I would rather have 2 offices with 10 employees each than to try to get to 20 different offices every single month and spend time with each person individually and not really grow the network within that office. So make notes on who they are. I do this consistently. I always have my iPad or my phone, and guess what? They connect through notes. So I make a note. Oh, Joseph has twins. I should make a note about that, right? Oh, how old are they going to be? Make a note, right? And I even say, oh, when's their birthday? And I actually will put in a note. Sounds weird, but if you're growing a relationship, you want to know things that are important about them. And if you want to get to know somebody, you have to know what's important about them. So we also have a very nice PDF that I share later on in the document, or later on in our presentation, that it took us, honestly, it's been something we've developed over the last 3 years, but it's really taken 3 years of changing and adding to get it to where it's at. I've asked mortgage brokers and realtors to look at it and give me their opinion on it. And so far, I think it looks great. So I'm going to share that with you in a little bit. But remember, referrals cost less money, but they take more time. Okay. So spend time with them, not more money with them. Okay. Offer a value. A lot of the people that I have networked with, I've offered to speak on operations or training calls or meetings and offer. I even say, you know what? I do coaching too. I could talk to you about some leadership stuff too, or your staff. And I offer that to them. Now, not everybody can offer that. Not everybody wants to offer that, but just offer to them something of value. And that value may just be the relationship, because I think that people are genuinely awesome and I just want to get to know them, right? So get to know them. Okay. Next, you have to be liked. So now they know you. Now they have to like you. Remember, this is a relationship. When I pick to be in a relationship with somebody, I mean, relatively fast, I get to know, am I going to like this person, right? Do I like this person? Do I like what they stand for? If I don't mesh with them, their values, their morals, maybe their personality, I just move on, and no hard feelings, right? So I tend to revisit the partners that I like and that seem to like me. I'm looking for that chemistry and connection, and I want to grow a relationship that turns into a referral partnership. Okay. Last one, trusted. So you have to be known, you have to be liked, you have to be trusted. To build a relationship, you must build trust, right? If you work with me, this is what you can expect your clients to receive. So I make that comment, and I may not get to the trusted part within the first or second visit. I build trust by visiting, being known, being liked, and then I'm building this trust. Sometimes I can go from, liked or known, like, trust, all in one conversation or all in one visit, but it's not as common. Think about relationships. They take time. And most of the time you don't go from start to finish to marriage to relationship all in one day. So think about the same way. It takes time, and it takes effort, and it takes care. So ask them, allow me to put you through the same process that your clients are going to go through. Explain to them, hey, we lead with liability. Tell them a little bit more about what your office culture is about, how your people sell, because they are not going to put their client into a program with you or a referral that is going to beat up their customer, make them feel like trash, give them, garbage insurance, and then they have a claim, and now they're calling back the mortgage or realtor and complaining about you, right? So I want them to know we lead with liability. We use this because Allie Donner made this for us. It's beautiful. So it's the CWC scripts, which our office uses. We also use this. We're gonna mention that in a little bit too, of how I work that into our referral network. But I show them like, hey, we do scripts. We lead with liability. We treat each person like they are not a number, but they are a person, because we love insurance. We love people more. And I elaborate on what that means to them. And then I tell them, hey, if you feel more comfortable being assigned to one of my employees, that you can have their cell phone. I ask my staff, who wants this? And then I give it to them, and they can have 24-hour access to them. And guess what? Because mortgage brokers, realtors, they work 24/7, and sometimes they're looking for a partner that'll be available just as often. Or what I suggest, the way that I like to do it in our office, is that it comes into myself, my manager or my sales trainer, and they're like a quarterback. They're either writing it if no one's available, or they're passing it out to the correct person at the right time. We build trust by telling our referral partners that, hey, you go to the top of the list. If somebody just called in a customer and we can put that off for 30 minutes and take care of you, we definitely will. You are a top priority when you come in. So here's the thing. Most people think that if you're known, if you're liked, if you're trusted, that you're done. And now guess what? The referrals are just going to roll in. Wrong. I'll tell you why in 1 second. But here is something to build even more trust. This is the PDF that I put together. I'm going to share that. It's going to be on the platform. Now, I want you guys to not copy and paste this, but make it your own if you want to do this. So when I go to an office, I go to lunch, I take notes on people. I may put a date in my calendar to email them at a later date, text, or call them. But I also will email this PDF immediately. Every time we get an evidence of insurance request, this goes out with the evidence of insurance request. So we attach this. Our office manager does the same thing. Customer service, all of our LSPs do the same thing. So it starts out by just having the first page is me in our office, right? And then a partnership you could trust. We talk about why we're trusted, what we do to earn trust, right? Then it introduces me, just a real quick overview of who I am, and then our office manager. Now, we also have these broken into an LS, it might say me and then an LSP, if this is an LSP that's sending this out. But this is our office manager on this one. I blacked out her cell phone so you guys don't blow her up with questions. So Kathy, you're welcome. Next page. So triggers on when to send to our agency. So we're giving them part of the training that I'm going to talk about on how. Okay. And then a beautiful picture of our staff. Okay. So just because you are known, liked, and trusted does not mean that you're going to get referrals right away. How many times do you guys think I've built this relationship, and ladies think that you're going to get referrals moving forward, and then you don't, or they say something like hey, Beau, did Daniel call you? Because I gave Daniel your card and he said he was going to reach out to you. Well, guess what? We're missing what I believe to be the most important step, which is you must teach them how to send you referrals, make it easy for them. Just literally teach them, these are who I want. Here's how I want you to send it. And this is a template. You can actually copy this if you want to. So it says, Beau, can you please reach out to a client of mine, Daniel and Caitlin? I have copied them in this email. They are buying a home, and I advise them to look at you guys as an option for homeowners insurance. Please take great care of them as you always do and help them understand insurance. I gave them your office number. Also, be on the lookout for their number. As always, thank you. Daniel and Caitlin's number are attached. Thank you, whatever professional partner that is. So I've given this template out to multiple referral partners. But the thing is, I asked them, and we actually role play. It's funny because I use some of the role playing that we do in our offices, like, hey, Libby, let's go through a role play on how to get professional partners or professional referrals over to me. Libby, all you got to do is introduce them like this. Hey, the next step of your mortgage is I'm going to need an insurance quote. I'm not sure who you use, but it is a perfect time for you to check insurance. So however you want to pitch in role play with your referral partner, you should do that. And then you should ask them to role play it back, because what you're asking them to do is to tell the customer about you and just say, I'm going to send at the end of that. They tell them about you. They say, Beau's my guy. You need to get a quote from him. And then I'm going to send you his info. And do you care if I send your info to him? No, not a big deal. I'm going to go ahead and send it over right now. So then our referrals go ahead and send this email almost immediately when they're done talking to their customer about this. And they do an email just like this. So remember, we love insurance. We love people more. To get referrals, you have to be known, you have to be liked, you have to be trusted, and then you have to train them to get referrals, right? So look, known, liked, trusted, then train them, and then give them permission. Because what's so funny is that we assume on our side that people will just send us stuff. How many of your friends and family never send you referrals, right? Well, give them permission. Tell them. I just told somebody today, you know what? if you know anybody in insurance that has a question about a claim or insurance, I would be more than happy to take a shot and a crack at it, send them my way. Because you know what? If they get to know me on that phone call and they like me and then they trust me because I answer a question to the best of my ability, most likely I'm going to earn their business because I've earned their trust, right? And my 3 steps to coaching, you got to teach it, you got to lead by example, and then you got to expect people to follow those steps. So I've had mortgage and realtors go outside of what we've went over, and I've just went back to them and took them back out to lunch and say, hey, we got to get back to like the way we were doing it before, because usually when my network stops, it's because, and the referrals stop rolling, is because the referral partner stops doing it that way, and they have to see value in that, right? We get it back to you as fast as we can. We lead with liability, and a lot of times we're beating your customer's price. Okay. So to get referrals, here's a funny thing. So they can also, everything that I taught you today could be used in a sale too. At the end of a sale, think about this as you're going through a sale. This sale is a relationship. During this call, I want to be known, I want to be liked, and I want to be trusted. And at the end, I'm going to ask them for permission to give me names, numbers, and refer me to people, right? I want to ask that at the end. And guess what? If they say, no, I don't have any friends in the area, or, hey, Beau, do you have any family members in the area that I could get their name and number so I could call them? I would like to call them and take care of them the same way I did for you today. No, Beau, I don't feel comfortable giving you that. And I say, well, since you don't feel comfortable, I'm going to share your name on Facebook, and it would mean a lot to me if I could at least tag you. And if they say no, guess what? I'm still putting the post up. I could still say, I saved Sharon, blah, blah, blah money, right? Or thank you, Sharon, for trusting us. And you could turn that still into a referral. So listen to this. Here's what research says. Customers talk to their coworkers, their friends, their neighbors. They post on social media. Here's the number of people they will talk to based upon how well you take care of them. And this is during a referral partner, a relationship. This is during a sales call. This is during customer service call. This is during a claim call. 3 people if you do a good job. Not bad. 10 people if you do a great job. Well, 25 people if you do a bad job. 50 if you somehow argue with them. Don't take a referral partner out to lunch and argue with them about what they know about insurance in front of them and literally destroy that relationship. If they don't line up with you and you aren't liking them, move on. After the lunch, just move on. Just remember, this is your reminder that word of mouth, whether it's a customer complaint, a service call, a sale, or professional referral partner, word of mouth is still the most powerful form of advertising in the entire world. Well, thank you guys for joining me. I know we're going to do some Q&A, but just a reminder, I'm Beau Vincent. Our office is in Stowe, Ohio. We love insurance, but we love people more. People over processes and people over profit is another saying that I have. So join me on our weekly podcast, which is called The Conviction of a Leader, on all podcast platforms. So Joseph, I'll kick it back to you. Here's my contact info for all of you out there.
Very cool, my man. Thank you so much for taking time to put together such a very powerful presentation. I would encourage y'all to follow Beau online. Beau B. Vinny, what does that mean?
That's my Instagram.
Okay.
Beau B. Vinny, and then The Conviction of a Leader is the other one.
Okay, perfect. I like it. I'm gonna start calling you Mr. Vinny instead of Vincent. Mr. Vinny, y'all, at his podcast, I had the pleasure of being a guest. And you know, Beau's a sincere man. He's a smart man. To go from 1 million to 5 million in premium, that's a huge move over the past couple of years, Beau.
Yeah.
Before we dive into the questions, y'all please submit the questions using the Q&A instead of the chat. Thank you to Allison Donor. She found a chatted question that she put in the Q&A for us to go through. But go ahead and get this going through. You know, that seems like really fast growth. What do you really attribute that to? Well,
I mean, first and foremost, I attribute it to the people that I have in our agency, right? I do attribute it to people over profit because I put people first. And some of the sacrifices I made in the beginning, I'd love to teach other people about, but I decided to put people into leadership and to lead them correctly by putting them first from day one. So I sacrificed money from the beginning in order to have higher level leaders within my agency. And most would argue, Beau, you led, 31 different locations, 600 employees. You don't need an office manager. I decided to hire one because I wanted to focus on the vision and the growth of the agency and of the employee. So that was the beginning, right? Having the right people, building the right culture. And now, CWC, the partnership with CWC has extremely helped me, kind of blow past, because when you look local and you're consistently leading, or you're looking around thinking that I'm doing pretty good compared to others, and you could start to feel good about that. But when I hired Craig to be my coach about a year ago, actually a little more than a year, Craig really pushed me, and I told him exactly what I wanted. I wanted to be held accountable and pushed. And that partnership with Craig really helped take me to another level too. And the CWC scripts, lead with liability, we've destroyed it with that. I mean, it makes it where it doesn't matter what the price increase is now, because we're not apples to apples. We're not servers here. We're more professional. Okay.
Well, you've done an amazing job, and I would just encourage any agency owner on this call, if you're interested in seeing how Beau could help you, check out his program at craigwigginscoaching.com/Beau. Somebody sent in a Q&A asking, can you show that email template again? And by the way, when you shared that, I know you probably weren't watching the chats. People are like, oh my gosh, that's a great idea. Coach them, train them on how to give you referrals. How smart is that? Heck, even role play with them on how to introduce you and give referrals. Would you mind flipping back to that email? And by the way, gang, while Beau was presenting, is this 1950? Did I say by the way, gang? By the way, y'all, everybody on this call, I uploaded this PowerPoint already to the platform. It's in the CD. I just did it a few minutes ago while he was training. So because I knew people were going to ask for it. So I've already uploaded this PowerPoint. It's in the 2022 live training course. It's the very first chapter. Great. In a couple hours, I'll put the recording as the new first chapter. So it'll be the second chapter, but the PowerPoint's there. So this is the email that you give to your partners to basically them to use as a template to warm introduce you to their customer.
Yes. So
just
after
copy paste.
It's copy paste. And we send this to everybody. We just say, here it is. All you got to do is introduce me by word of mouth, whether it's in person or over the phone. And then right after that, we ask that you send this email and put name, numbers right away. Because guess what? What do you think our, let's say Rachel, my sales trainer, what do you think she does when she gets this, Joseph?
Jumps for joy, starts singing happy dance. Like, what do you mean? Oh, you mean jumps right on it? Gets right on it?
Yes. She's like, yes, right? The first thing is when it hits that inbox, everybody's excited, right? 1, 2, they jump on it. We treat this just like a lead at that point. Now we treat it with more care and we have a personal relationship attached to it. But let's be honest. Now we got to get the quote, right? It's just like a lead now. Now we got to get the quote, right? We get them on the phone. We have to get them to know us. If that's by Brandon introducing us or Libby or any of our referral networks, right? They know us now. And then we got that maybe as a word of mouth from the mortgage or realtor. And then we got to earn trust on that call, right? So super exciting. We love it. We love it.
I think making it easy for people to introduce you is a very smart idea. Yep. Somebody asked another question that kind of goes along with this though. So Jamie said, what do you say when the conversation comes to pitching your partnerships? How do you transition to that? So from friendship, for them getting to know and like you, and then hopefully trust you, what is your pitch to them? The value that you and your team bring to help and make insurance the easiest part of the deal for them.
When I open this, can you see it, by the way?
No. So you're sharing Q&A. Your PowerPoint.
Who asked that question?
Jamie. If you want, you can stop sharing.
So I'm looking at it right now.
Else.
What do you say when the conversation comes to pitching your partnership? How do you transition to that? Well, so I like to lead with honesty, right? So when I am going into these agencies, I'm not trying to hide the fact that I'm some insurance agent that would love to earn your business. And I'll joke around and say, Joseph, it's so great to meet you, man. I'm hoping someday that you and I have a relationship and we can pass referrals. So but she's asking more specifically, maybe what I say or when I transition. So I've said this before, and I might've said it a little earlier. I'm not transitioning until I have trust yet, because it's funny because during that trust phase, if I ask Joseph, he's my referral partner or soon to be, Joseph, let me quote you so you could see what I offer to your clients. That is an easy way for me. And they might say, I love my agent. Well, that's great. Do you pass referrals to your agent? No. Well, then let's go through this process. No harm, right? There's no pressure for the sale for me. I want you to see what your clients and the service level that you're going to get from them. Because what's funny is his current agent never gave him permission or asked him to pass referrals. So you have to ask and you have to give permission. It's so funny, right? They just don't do it till you ask.
And if you're cool with it, I'm going to share my screen real quick to highlight this training, y'all, that I would love to give y'all as homework. And then we can just make our faces bigger. And then if we need to share anything else, but here's some good homework for y'all, especially before next week. See, next week we have another very special guest. Daniel Austin is going to be teaching on social media.
Love Daniel.
But yes, it's going to be awesome, man. Here on the platform of the sales team courses, we have this course on referrals. It's just over an hour long. 18 chapters, so very short, very short, long, course, number of chapters. And you can see the first couple of chapters on customer referrals, but then the rest of it is all about developing COIs and stuff. So this will be really good homework for anybody out there really wanting to take this to the next level. As another FYI, because we teach like what to say in the group meetings, what to say in the individual meetings, how to be a friend first, show them what you can do as an agent first. A lot of what Beau went over, Craig and I also talk about some of that course, but he just takes it even much further, which is awesome. But many of y'all might not be aware of this. I like to point this out from time to time. You can search for keywords on the platform. So see this little magnifying glass? If you want to find other courses, live trainings on referrals, I'm just going to type the word referral and it'll pull up everything. It'll pull up every section that has chapters on the word referrals. And in 2021, we had some awesome trainings on referrals in August of 2021. And then earlier in the year with Greg Blanchard, this was with Daniel Austin. So anyways, just some homework for y'all that want to take this further. Let's make our faces a little bit bigger. Do we look alike? I don't think we do.
I mean,
somebody was like,
maybe like a cousin.
Is that your brother? Yeah, we might be cousins. We might be. Okay. From Ryan in the chat, approximately how many items each month are you writing? And what percentage of that is coming from like your outside marketing efforts? Do you have any other outside the box recommendations about, instead of bringing just goodies and donuts and coffee? He asked that early on in the call. You might have answered some of that already.
Yeah. So I love that. Well, some of the outside the box thinking was me offering value as a leader and as a coach, right? Offering them to speak to them about being a leader and how leadership is a choice and how they don't need the title to be a great leader and to have a positive attitude within their agency. So I offer to come in and literally speak to their staff or their team member meeting and offer value that way, maybe provide some snacks during that time. But ultimately, I have gotten the most value and bang for my buck when I spend time individually speaking with each partner. So I can get in front of a group to get introduced, but then when I break out and I can get one-on-one with people, you just got to look them in the eyes and make them feel important, right, Joseph? Like you.
Yes,
so
sir.
That's it. So you asked how many, he was asking how many items. I mean, almost 50% of our items are written from referrals. We've had months where it's more, but I would say 40 to 50 on the yearly basis. But as of recently, 50 to 60. So, and guess what? We don't stop buying leads. We're just adding to that, right? This is like doubling our business in a sense, right? It's not replacing altogether. So I'm spending less on leads than I ever had, but at the same time, I'm still buying leads. So, yeah.
Now, some of you might be saying, I'm not as charismatic as Beau. I don't have the same things that he could offer in terms of leadership training and motivational training and stuff for their staff. Your value proposition for your mortgage lenders in particular, your realtors, your processors, to me, it's pretty simple. We're going to make insurance the easiest part of the transaction.
Wow.
I know that you ain't getting paid unless you get to that closing table. And how frustrating it must be sometimes to deal with an insurance agency that's dragging their feet. They're taking days to return an evidence of insurance. Are you kidding me? We have a 1-hour guarantee. I stole that from Daniel Austin. We have a 1-hour guarantee. You need something, you're getting it back within an hour. What's really cool about us is we can do same-day coverage, same-day binding, done. I don't got to go look at the house first, take pictures, submit it to underwriting, wait 3 or 4 days to get a binder. You need a binder? I just need 15 minutes. So here's the deal, Mrs. Prospective Partner or Mr. Prospective Partner. I'm just going to make insurance the easiest part of the transaction. That way you don't have to worry about it. You got 18 other hoops to jump through. Heck, it's more like 80 other hoops to jump through to get that deal to closing. Insurance to be the least of your concern. So here's the deal. Just give me a shot. Just give me a shot. Who right now, I wish I had $1 for every time I ask this question. Who right now, Mrs. Prospective Partner, is on your desk? What file on your desk is dragging their feet on their insurance? Maybe I can speed it along. Dude, like every time I ask that question, I get a referral. Right. Who is dragging their feet? Because they know, Mrs. Jones ain't going to close next week because I still don't have her insurance.
I love that.
Mrs. Jones, really? Let me see if I can help.
Right.
Just ask and ye shall receive. I read that on Fortune Cookie.
No finder fees. We're not paying our referral partners. We don't do that. There are RESPA laws. And like I said, if you work with the correct people, they don't ask for anything. What they ask for is that I say something, and I educate during this training process. I say, Joseph, when you send a client to me, you know what the first thing I'm going to say? We love Joseph. He's one of the best mortgage brokers in the city. I'm so glad you're working with him. We trust him a lot. So what we're doing is it's like team selling, right? Because believe it or not, mortgage brokers, realtors can lose sales even at this point in their sales process still. Like a house could fall through. They could say, I might go to Rocket Mortgage online because it's cheaper, but we say, I think it's so great you're working with the local office instead of, doing a 1-800 number, because we know that Brandon's going to be there, that Joseph's going to be there when you need him. So we don't give gift cards. We don't give finder's fees. I will take them to lunch when I'm with them. But it's not elaborate. I'm not going to, giant steakhouses and taking them to Indians or Cleveland Guardians games in the suites. So I don't have to do that when you take care of their partnership. And guess what they want to know? Number one, Joseph, they want to be introduced to other people. Okay. So all they ask me, I don't mind introducing a realtor to a mortgage broker. That costs me $0 and let them hash it out. You guys want me to go to lunch with you? Great. I'll introduce you. But if not, you guys meet each other.
I think that's extremely smart. Connecting others to others is a wonderful way to add value. It's kind of like creating little mini power teams. I don't know if y'all have ever been in BNI, and we have a question about BNI, but I learned a lot, in BNI. But as Melissa said, BNI can take time, right? BNI takes time. Asking clients for referrals is far easier. However, when getting started, whether some other sources used for marketing, telemarketers, mailers, I'll let you answer the rest for a question, but she made me think about BNI. I learned a lot about networking in BNI. And it was really cool as we formed little power teams. So it was like the insurance agent, the realtor, the mortgage loan officer, the appraiser, people involved in like mainly real estate. We were a little power team. Well, how about we make other little power teams? What I don't love about BNI is I'm stuck to that one chapter. I'd rather make like 7 or 8 little power teams that I can basically hang out with once or twice a month. We can grab lunch together, grab coffee together, brainstorm how we can help each other in their business. You connect people. Oh man, that adds so much value. So much value. But she asked, what else are you doing? So you said leads and marketing. What other things are you doing to drive business?
So we have done in-house telemarketing. We don't have any currently, but I do. I'll tell you this. I'll tell you a success story, and my staff's going to laugh because I love it. And we got referred by a customer. There was this high schooler came in and said, "Hey, I'm Jared. I'm in high school. I'm a junior. I'm looking for a job." Right. So I talked to my FSL to verify, but he was under 18. I was able to hire him as a telemarketer. And guess what? He was a hard-nosed football player. And guess what's happening? He went back to, we love Jared, as Rachel just said in the chat, which is our sales trainer. We love Jared. Jared's coming back. And guess what he's going to do? He's going to bring half the football team with him back. And we're going to have like a Wolf on Wall Street type of telemarketers with a bunch of high school football players in our office dialing numbers and having fun. So that's one way we've outsourced telemarketing. We always buy live leads. Always. We never stop. We've never stopped. We still have them going right now. And I do get to these points. This is my advice. I get to points to where we're so inflated with leads. Like say your lead manager has 30,000 leads in there and they aren't being worked. What I do is I typically then say, all right, now I gotta outsource some telemarketing, and I'll send them all these and get these reworked because they were already paid for. So if somebody reworks those, we do that consistently too. So we are very diverse, and we know when to pivot and move lead sources and in different types too in companies. We know when to move, and we do it often.
Mike had a question, which I bet others have had. I've had some referral partners say that they must give at least 3 insurance reps out. What would you say to someone that says, hey, I got to give 3 names? What would you say?
So I think part of that too is saying that, I can introduce you to Beau. He is my personal guy. He has my personal insurance. So, go ahead and get a quote from where you're at. A lot of our referral partners tell them that. Go ahead and just get a quote where you're at now. And if it's online, I educate our referral partners on why online's not the best, right? And why when they need coverage, need claim, why it's going to be tough for them. So I teach them. So there's nothing wrong with introducing multiple avenues to them, as long as our mortgage partner or our realtor or even a car lot, I saw somebody ask, as long as they understand why we have benefits over those. Okay. Even if it's just one reason. Okay. So yes, I think that's part of their RESPA, and that's up to them to do that. And I'm not saying that I don't advocate for that. They need to abide by the laws. Thankfully it's not our law, but they need to abide by it. Yes.
So somebody asked, why can't I just pay them? Y'all Google RESPA, RESPA. Just Google it. RESPA. You'll see why you can't pay them. It's against the law. Mm-hmm. And y'all, I don't want any owners on here saying, but we do it. And by the way, there can be some gray area. Maybe you do some co-marketing with them, co-branded marketing and stuff, but it depends on your carrier too. Sometimes your carrier doesn't want you to do anything that could even be a hint of potential violation of federal law called RESPA, RESPA. Guys, the value is in you. Now, here's what I would always say. If they say I got to give 3, hey, that's okay. Just put mine on top and circle it because I'm awesome, right? Just put mine on top, circle it. And you know what? Our best partners of the year, from Betty Kitchens to Veronica Oden to Jonathan Smith to Adam Haynes to Don Miller to, I could go on and on. You know what? They were also our customers. And he talked about that. He talked about showing them what you can do for them. You show them what you can do for them. Y'all, even if they have to give 3 names, they might say, well, this is my agent. And here's 2 other schlubs or 2 other people. Right, but this is my agent. My agent. You're going to want to start with her. You're going to want to start with him. Okay. Our best partners started as friends, became clients, and man, they just keep referring business because we make insurance the easiest part of the deal, and they know it's done. Consider it done. You send the insurance request to us, consider it done. All right. We're just going to make it that easy. We need to fly through some more questions. So Karen wanted clarification when you were talking about making the post on Facebook, even if they said, don't use my name or tag me. What did you mean by that? Like you would just use a first name and not a last name? Or
so I'm not going to tag somebody when they tell me not to. What I mean is that I'm still going to make a post. I just ask them for permission. Say, hey, Joseph, I'm going to make a post. I would love to have your permission to tag you in that post. Joseph says, no big deal. Doesn't mean I still can't share on our network. But if Joseph says, yes, I've seen way more feedback and likes and shares in that case, because typically the guy that I write or lady has a totally different network than I do. So when you tag them, it shows up on other people's feeds. So when they don't let you do that, it's only going to go to the people unless you boost it.
And another great strategy, I really wish I could remember who I learned this from. I'm pretty sure Allison, and Allison just chatted a reminder, y'all, I can't keep up with questions in the chat. So she sent a chat reminder to put your questions in the Q&A. I think I heard this from Allison. Either she had a team member or knew of a team member that did this. Basically, every customer this young woman wrote, LSP wrote, licensed sales professional wrote, she would ask a favor. And I'm going to add this to the scripts. I kind of wish I could know who I could give credit to, though. So if anybody knows who created this, but here's the kind of script that I'm going to work up. Hey, Beau, you are awesome, man. I really appreciate you. Would you say, Beau, that you're very satisfied with how I've helped you today? Are you good? Are
Yeah.
you happy with everything we've done today?
Yeah. Joseph, like, I feel like I know you, like maybe you're a
Wow.
brother of mine.
We do kind of look alike, don't we? But, man, that means the world to me. Thank you. I appreciate that. Beau, can I ask you a favor?
Sure.
Yeah. It would really mean a lot to me if you would just share a quick note about how I was able to help you today,
Yeah.
maybe like on Facebook or Instagram. If
Yeah.
I sent you a picture of my business card, a screenshot of my business card, would you mind just sharing it real quick and just a quick little note about how I took care of you?
Yeah, Joseph, I
Yeah.
know that your job can be tough. Yeah, I would love to share it because you went above and beyond. Like it
Man,
was
thank you.
phenomenal service today. I
Wow.
would think
Okay.
that you run a consulting agent.
Yeah. Well, Bo, man, I appreciate that. I'll shoot it over to you via email. Man, I'd appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Oh,
So
no,
Allison
thank you.
said, yes, that's from me. I don't know if it was her that did it or one of her producers, but guys, how brilliant, right? To get them to share your contact info, and they all won't do it. They all won't do it. But y'all, like in the Facebook groups, I'm in a lot of Facebook groups, like community groups and stuff like that. All the time, people say, "Hey, who y'all using for homeowners insurance now?" Right? People want to ask. They ask. Be involved in the groups. Get people sharing your information. It's a really passive way to get a ton of business. The whole emergency contact thing that we've been talking about for the past few months from our friend Amanda Lord. I'm also going to write that
Yeah.
up. Already have. I just haven't added to the scripts yet. Y'all, I'm planning a big revamp of the scripts, but I just need to like lock myself in a closet for a weekend so I can do it. I don't have time, but I'm going to make time because there's like 10 things I want to add, and there's a bunch of little things I want to tweak. But anyways, I'm going to add the whole emergency contact thing. That we've been talking about for weeks. There's so many things that we can do. Don't just sit there and rely on your agency owner to spoon feed you leads, right? What leads are you bringing to the table, team?
So
What
true.
leads are you want your agency owner to buy more leads for you? Direct mail, live transfers, internet leads, click to calls on Google. That stuff ain't cheap, right?
No.
So if you want more leads, bring more to the table, then he or she will be able to bring more leads to you. It's a beautiful thing. Okay.
Well, and
Yep.
so many people complain, right, about leads. They want to complain, and we don't allow complaining in our agency. We talk about don't tell me no or why you couldn't do it. Tell me how you can or when you can, right? But referrals, they're today. And majority of them, if they can get a loan, yeah, if they're buying a home, they can get a loan. They probably can get insurance with you. Now we do get people that come across this and they have a lot of claims or speeding tickets, which does not impact them qualifying for a loan. But yeah, so they are the best. Let's be honest. They're the best. And Allstate and all carriers, every carrier loves somebody that owns a home and has cars, right? Who doesn't?
Let's power through some of these. What
Yeah,
advice would
sorry,
you
go
give
ahead.
to remote workers? This is Miranda, for making these important connections when they don't even live in the same state.
Oh, that is good. Well, let me tell you something. That's why I said not every single person in your agency is going to be able to do these. Now, they could attempt to do them through the email and phone call way, because if you follow this script, I talked about emailing a PDF when you ask for evidence of insurance. So making connection online is possible, right? But I also said I manhandle a lot of these within my agency because I keep them in house and then they get passed out. So I also asked our staff to do this. We had several employees working their own networks, and I was working office networks too for our whole office. So it's up to you and your agency.
All right, let's see here. Sarah, I'm pretty new. How do you search for potential partners and how would you introduce yourself?
Yeah. So I ask for introductions from people that are in the realtor or mortgage industry. So you can search through Facebook, search through LinkedIn, ask friends and family, because I guarantee, I would love to see people raise their hand, but how many people on this call knows that somebody in their family knows at least one loan officer or realtor? Guarantee, right? And then most of them, especially friends or family, will help you make a connection. And then I know what Joseph is going to do. He's going to show us a way to use Google.
Yeah. So use the Google machine. Do y'all have the Google where y'all are? Do y'all have the Google machine? I know Google's kind of a new
Yeah,
thing. It's
I
a new
think
thing.
I do.
Y'all check out the Google. Check out this. Am I saying the Google correctly? Like, remember when it was the Facebook?
I thought it
All
was
right,
Google.
check this out.
Googles.
Zillow mortgage lenders. So you can see my search history here. Zillow. More. Stephanie says I've never heard of the Google. Google is a search engine, Stephanie, where you can go find info. So what I want to find is the Zillow mortgage lender directory. Here we are. So it's simply zillow.com/lender-directory. Beau, what is your zip code?
44224.
Wow, that's a cool zip code. So, and this is kind of cool. This is kind of cool if you have different languages that you're trying to target. Oh, spoiler alert. We're bringing on a Spanish-speaking coach. And she's going to be working with agencies that have Spanish-speaking team members.
How exciting.
So, spoiler alert,
awesome.
that's coming
That's
out
awesome.
like any day now. Okay.
Love that.
44224. Check this
Yep.
out. I can sort it by distance.
Yep.
See all
I
these
know
people?
him. Yeah, yeah.
Check this out.
Yep.
Let's say
I know
Valerie. You know her?
Yeah.
Check this out. I'm going to click on her name. I've got her cell phone number, her address. I've got her website. I wonder if I can find her email address. Let's see.
For sure.
Let's talk, maybe. I don't know.
Valerie H.
Within 9 seconds, I got her company, email address,
Yeah.
cell phone number, address, done.
So-
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to friend her on Facebook. I'm going to connect with her on LinkedIn, and then I'm going to wait.
The other one,
gonna
so
meet
I don't
with
know
the
if the person
house.
that asked that question actually
Mhm.
just maybe doesn't have social media, but this is the other way around social media. And if you don't have social media and are like, click on the Jessica. Yeah, I know
Jessica?
her. Click on that.
You know
Yeah.
her?
Yeah. So look at the office is on my road. So
Oh,
I am
really?
4411 Kent Road. Want to hear something awesome? I work with 2 people from their office. One of my employees works with somebody from their office. I am speaking on their operations call to all 40 loan officers next week, and I'm going to make the offer on the call. I want to take each one of you out to lunch individually. I'm not going to buy your office lunch. I want to take each one of you out individually. So I'm going to go through something very similar to like we talked about today. And then I'm going to say, I want to meet you. I don't expect you to give me a referral until you meet me. So I want to meet you. You want to do a Zoom? Let's do a Zoom. You want to go out to lunch? Let's do a lunch. You want me to come to your office? Great. I'll be there too. So I make that offer, right? Because this is where I said, let's work smarter, not harder. This is a giant office. I have 3 people out of 40 working with us. Could it be, 20 out of 40 someday? I hope so. Right?
That would be huge.
Huge.
That would be huge.
And we're
man.
close. We're right where they are. Hey, I will bring you down an evidence of insurance if you need it. I don't care.
So I think that's fantastic. When I moved to Huntsville in 2011, I didn't know a soul. I didn't know
Right.
anybody here. And Craig tasked me for developing COIs. So I used the Facebook. I used the Facebook because that was back when it was still called the Facebook.
I know.
And just started connecting with people, man. I was sending so many friend requests. I got Facebook slapped. Facebook was like, dude, you can't send requests for like 24 hours. I was like, okay, I'll slow down. So I slowed down. I grew over 500 connections within like a week. All right. Started getting to know them, liking their stuff, commenting on stuff, etc. I started reaching out to them saying, hey, it's really enjoy getting to know you. You want to grab lunch? Want to grab, breakfast, dinner,
Yeah.
whatever, coffee? Let me know. For about 6 months, dude, I didn't eat lunch alone. Some days I had a breakfast too. I gained 30 pounds, Beau. 30 pounds in 6 months, man. I had to learn, like, if I have 2 meals in a day planned, I had to eat a little bit lighter each meal. But y'all, there's people to this day still referring business to that agency. I haven't seen some of those people in years. I might see them in passing at like the county fair or like the little things that we have at the school. I wave, we say hi, but we're Facebook friends. They're liking my stuff. They're commenting on my stuff. I'm liking their stuff, commenting on their stuff. Facebook and social media is beautiful. And guess what? I bet our friend Daniel Austin's going to give us a bunch more stuff on that next week.
Yeah.
Some people ask about car dealerships. What are your thoughts on car dealerships?
We've used some. What's weird about car dealerships, I don't think I've put the full effort in because I typically want you get a home, you get autos typically. So I focus on realtors and mortgage, but I'm telling you that dealerships work, and I've heard people that love them. I personally have worked with 2 or 3 different dealerships, and they don't last forever. Maybe it's because I didn't follow this process in the beginning. Because like I said, this is 3 years of me, working through this process. And then it was all up here. And for this presentation, I wanted to get it out in a real pretty, format for everybody on CWC. And I would say that maybe I would revisit some of those and extend the olive branch using my own training this time.
Real quick, my friend Scott asked, what about Realtor Tours? Do you guys have any Realtor Tours? And say that 10 times fast. Realtor Tours. If so, do you ever participate in those? And would you ever follow up? Do you know what he's talking about? Realtor Tours, where you like go like a parade of homes, or you go look at different homes. We would help with open houses, Scott. And I actually work with Scott and his team. We can talk about that in our next training too, Scott. Open house help.
Yep, open houses.
Cool. Saying, hey, when's your next open house? It's gonna be Saturday, it's gonna be Sunday. What can we bring? Can I bring some cookies or something? We'll be happy to do that. All I gotta do is put a little flyer next to it, because I can give them something of value like that. And it's not for them, it's for the people at the house. It's co-branded marketing. I want to bring some cookies. I just gotta put a flyer out. Maybe I can hang out. Can I help?
I've seen some phenomenal cookies being made locally where people are putting their logos on it. So if you could do that, obviously that fits into marketing 110%. If you offer to go, what's funny is that essentially, if you get your marketing out, but also say to a lot of the mortgage brokers I know will go to these open houses too. And sometimes I'll just offer, hey, if you need cookies or something, let me know for the open house. So it's an offer, right? It's not ridiculous. It's not expensive. Remember, I'm not going to Panera and buying 100 donuts and bagels and dropping them off every week. That doesn't earn my business. Why do I think it's going to earn their business? Okay.
Amy asked a question. How are you able to start a high school telemarketer, high school student as a telemarketer? Is it educational credits or payment?
I pay them. I don't know. I didn't know there was, if there's credits, I need to reach out to my CPA. Thank God it was this year and we haven't filed taxes yet, but you know what? You got my brain spinning, and maybe there is some tax.
Yeah, you got to pay them. So fun fact for y'all, and I can say this because this woman's no longer in insurance. My wife, my beautiful wife, Beau, Lauren, been together for 16 years, married, dating for over 21 years, whatever, since dating.
My wife's sister.
Yeah. When she was 16 years old,
she
worked at an insurance agency doing everything. Quotes, new business endorsements. You think she had a license? No, keep in mind, y'all, that was 22 years ago. Wait, hold on. Am I doing math right? She's 38. I don't know. That was a long time ago. 16 years old, doing business. But yeah, younger people, high school students, they typically have co-op programs, where they can leave school a little early and go work somewhere. I worked at a pharmacy. Of course. Right. That was cool. My wife worked at an insurance agency for 2 or 3 hours a day. I think they're great sources, man. I got somebody in my program, Beau. She's 19 years old, working for an agency, I think in Texas she's at. You'd think she's 35, the most mature teenager I've ever met. I was like, you're 19, just starting in this business. You're going to make a killing. You're going to make such a great career. It's so awesome. I'm so excited for her.
I love that. I do. Because so yeah, if you can get to a high school and build a relationship, DECA programs, the business future, what are those?
FBLA, Future Business Leaders of America.
Future Business Leaders.
That's what I was in. And
those are awesome. I was in DECA. No surprise. We were both in something like that. And what's great is they will teach you the basics of business, selling, relationship building, interviewing. These kids have some base understandings that some college kids don't even have yet.
So Troy asked a good question. Do you friend the mortgage broker or COI from your personal page? Definitely personal page, Troy. And y'all come back next week for Daniel Austin on social media. Tammy wanted to know, how do you know if your people are following up with 1 hour? Another good question asked Daniel Austin, Tammy, because guess who I stole that from? From him. But for us, this is an FYI, everything came through me. For my partners, everything came through me. I would delegate to somebody. They would copy me on the reply. I would want that closed loop in the trail. I need to know that it's done. And if they didn't have it done, we had a problem. So there was some accountability there. Yeah. But as the agency manager, I wasn't the owner, but as the agency manager, it all flowed through me. That way I know it's getting done.
I use the example, Joseph, on that is like, I try to thank our COIs every time they send something, because just a single reply, not a reply all to the whole group of my staff or in their customer, but a thank you, because I think of like a restaurant, Joseph. You're at a restaurant, Server comes up and says, thank you. You're like, thank you. Appreciate you saying thank you. That was great. The general manager comes out and says, thank you. You're like, wow, that was awesome. But the owner's there tonight and he says, hey, Joseph, thank you for supporting our business. Really appreciate that. So there's levels to it, right? And I think that each person is extremely important in the thank you process.
And I have one last question from Amy, even though we're going just a tad over, but Allison sent me a quick reminder asking y'all, when you go to our website to log into CWC, you don't have to do that. You can go straight to wigginsuniversity.com. But see this little spin to win thing? Doesn't this look fun? Oh, this looks fun. Spin to win. Y'all, this is for people that aren't in our program. All right, stop spinning the wheel. Stop spinning the wheel, y'all. We got agency owners spinning the wheel. We got staff spinning the wheel. This is a marketing thing. Like, I don't know how we need to make this more clear, but we're getting dozens a day, and she's having to go in and delete y'all from our system. Unless you want to get our spam and see what our spam is like, stop spinning the wheel. All right. Last question from Amy. Do you divvy up your referrals individually, split evenly? Like, how do you decide which one of your team members gets one of your referrals that you've cultivated?
Yeah. So that's funny because we have really grown this process over the years. And it used to be like a round robin, who's available, who's up next, right? But as it's grown, we have decided we want to be fair, but I don't treat everybody the same because we have office managers, we have a sales trainer or a senior LSP, then we have LSPs, and there are levels of how to divvy that up. And I think that people need to earn this level of referral. This is what I would call a layup, right? You get 3 of these referrals, you should close 2 at least. You get 4, you should close 3. So I think that these should be earned. And I think that the office ones are more of like where I pass out a little bit more and try to make them even. But there are times where, listen, first and foremost, I need somebody who's available. I want it to be done now, right? Okay. So I hope that answers that now. Yeah. And then the level of the employee and what their close rate looks like, how well they take care of it. Because listen, to me, this is not my new person. This is not a new person. Okay. This is somebody that I want that is efficient, that is fast, that represents me. I went out and I spent all this time networking. Do you think I want to blow it on the first quote? No, sir.
No, for sure. Y'all, nothing is fair. You want fair, earn it. So yes, I used to do round robin too, but no, you drop a ball, good luck getting another one from me. Right. My team members knew. And, sometimes I knew that a team member would interact well or connect well with a certain loan officer really well because their personalities or whatever. I would do that. I would kind of form little strategic partnerships. But here's the deal, y'all. You want, the golden leads, the Glengarry leads, I'm talking about Glengarry, Glen Ross.
Oh, yeah.
Movie for all you young people out there. You can probably watch it on the Netflix, the Google, the Facebook. You want the Glengarry leads, you want the golden leads, y'all, what are you bringing to the table? Right. I really want to challenge every single producer out there and service team member to be focusing on driving more customer referrals, more referrals from your own personal network, friends, family, social media connections. Start to cultivate relationships with partners like Beau is talking about now. And we've taught in many of the live trainings. You bring more to the table, I bet your agency owner will be just happy to bring even more to your table. All right.
Absolutely.
Dude, you're awesome. Not just because you're so handsome. I don't know what it is about you, but you're handsome.
I've been working out.
For you.
You know why? Because my brother Joseph really kills it every day. And I said, Joseph, how do I look like you? I'm the uglier brother. I want to look like you. So I started working out,
Dude, I appreciate the time and team members that stayed on this call the whole time, this few extra minutes. Thank you, Beau. Awesome. Any final thoughts from you, my man, before we send everybody back to work?
No, yes. I want to just remind you guys to stay positive. This is a process, right? It's a relationship. Do not forget, in relationships, you have to be known, you have to be liked, you have to be trusted, and then you got to train them. So don't give up too early, because when it feels like you're failing or falling apart, it may be falling together. And when somebody is working with somebody, there's always an opportunity for them to screw up. And if you're there in the waiting, you might just get a shot. So never give up. Okay. Stay positive.
All right. Thank you so much, Beau. I look
Thank
forward
you.
to seeing you all next week with our friend Daniel. Now,
Absolutely.
ladies and gentlemen, we got to get back to work. We got policies to write and people to protect. Get off this call, pick up the phone, call somebody, quote somebody, close somebody. Make sure they have the protection they deserve with you and your agency today. See y'all next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Joseph. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.